around over here someplace and you say, you get over here and you change your mind. Somebody convinced you not to continue on that path, and so you stopped. Or somebody said, you know what, I think I'm going to go ashore right here, and I'm going to work my way back, and somehow that's the way it's going to be. So those possibilities happen because that's the nature of time and prophecy. That's also true back here. That is, at the end of 13,000 years when things are supposed to happen, suppose you have changed your mind. Suppose there is a different attitude. Suppose your heart has been touched and you have decided not to continue on the path that is down, or maybe even on the path that is upward. So whatever we tell you about the time problem, you're just going to have to understand that there's that kind of a difficulty. Just looking at this a minute. Okay. There's a very important thing that's happening here. We said something about the alignment here and about this precession, but as a matter of fact, there's no. Why should anything at all happen? Right? I could have just made. Couldn't I have just made that up? I'm not quite that clever, but isn't it possible that I said, "Oh well, I really didn't mean that. What I meant was something else." Why is this so crucial, or that so crucial? Well, it isn't, except for the fact that if you believe that what the Mayans are saying is true, the Mayans are saying this is happening because the galaxy and the Earth and the Sun have an influence on each other, and it's not one of gravity, because that can be, you can easily figure out that is not going to be a useful device. What is the difference between this? What you have to come to understand is what the Mayans are saying is that that the universe is alive. The universe is alive, and everything in it is alive. And they are connected by consciousness, one with another, and it's the consciousness that provides then the influence that these have on each other. Now, do I understand just exactly what I said? No, not really, except that I'm beginning to get the idea more and more, and you will too if you adopt it as a kind of a theory, as a hypothesis that you can work with. Now, when we say the universe is alive, we mean also that the Earth is alive. Oh boy. And as a matter of fact, what do they call this alive Earth? They call it Mother Earth. And a couple of things they mean by that. The Earth is alive. It is a mother. It is a feminine gender. And it acts like a mother and wants to take care of those people who live on it, and she wants to do right with them. But Mother Earth, according to the Mayans, is mad. She is not happy with the kind of abuse that she has had to endure over the last 13,000 years or 26,000 years, and she wants us to know that she is maybe not going to put up with it anymore. Well, really? Well, what will happen? Well, suppose that she stimulated earthquakes and let volcanoes occur and made sure that the oceans went out from beyond their boundaries. And if those things began to happen, because it is time for her to make a decision about those things, then we will have a lot of trouble. On the other hand, if we learn to get along with nature, Mother Nature, if you will, if you prefer that terminology, or if you get along with Mother Earth, then maybe we'll be able to escape some of that turmoil and trouble. And that's ultimately what the story of the Mayan calendar is all about. It's not about the calendar. It's not about a date. It's about the earth and our living on it and what we're going to do about it. So we're going to come back to this regularly and frequently because I'm pretty sure that that's the best interpretation. Now, if we accept that, if we say that, well, yeah, this must be about Mother Earth, then Mother Earth, when she gets mad, can accommodate all of the difficulties and trials. We have a long list of things which the people on YouTube and elsewhere have been prophesying is going to happen. A long list of them. And I'm going to list them all for you. And if this is really the story about the earth and its condition, and about our life and our lack of respect for nature, then I suppose that we'll suffer the consequences anyway. Okay. Now this is just sort of the start. I identified alignment as one of those ways by which we came to the conclusion that that date was important. We identified precession of equinoxes as the thing by which we were also going to count. There is a third, which we want to mention as well. There is, for example, it is said that the pyramids have within them, the large one at Giza has a measurement that when multiplied by some other fantastic number turns out to be end up at the year 20 and 12. So there are 3 or 4 more as well. I'm not going to be able to cover this particular part of the subject today because I want to also tell you and pay some credit to the people who are really I've relied on to come to some of these conclusions. And let me just identify some of those for you. First of all, the NASA, National Aeronautic and Space Administration, has a website in which it's possible, in which they address some of these very same issues. And I encourage you to take a look at what they have also to say, so as to add some science, some rigor to this whole conversation. I think it's also, in general, the Mayan tribes themselves, 440 of which are scattered all around the country. Shamans from every imaginable part of the ancient tradition. Angels, saints, Marians, apparitions, and then a whole bunch of individuals. Edgar Casey, Rudolf Steiner, Billy Myers, Dunfellow Melchizedek, Bob Frizzell, George Cavasilis, Douglas James Cottrell, Dolores Cannon, David Wilcox, Ed Dames, Graham Hancock, and so forth and so on. All of these people are the geniuses and the bright people on whom we relied to help us put together. And I wish I could give them always the kind of credit that they deserve. But this is just to say that they deserve it really and not I, and I'm really just here as a teller of stories. Okay. I find it's been a change in my own attitude and philosophy to be talking about the Mother Earth. I'm not discussing warming trends or anything like that. I'm talking about it more a spiritual development conclusion. And so we'll be glad to talk more about that next time.